The multiverse might seem like a place where anything can happen, and that's true. And because anything can and probably will happen at some point, it's also very likely that at some points the multiverse will get broken, even by folks who you wouldn't normally suspect.
Like superheroes?
Yep.
Welcome back, Nerd Squad. This is Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight.
And I'm your other host, Adam Andrews. Today we'll be counting down the top 10 superheroes that broke the multiverse.
Number 10, Scarlet Witch. We know that Wanda in essence broke the universe when she erased all mutants from it, or at least almost all mutants, I think like 99% of them, by saying no more mutants. But did you know that this actually broke the multiverse? At least that is what was implied in X-Men Endangered Species. In this series, Beast is on a journey to try and basically fix what Scarlet Witch did, finding a way to reverse her magics or perhaps find a scientific cure in order to bring back the mutant population to what it once was. During his adventure, he mates with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange shows Hank the repercussions of Wanda speaking the words, "no more mutants," and how it didn't just affect the main continuity of Earth 616, but also affected the entire multiverse as well. Doctor Strange shows Hank the effects of Wanda's curse on mutant kind to help explain why he basically cannot use his power to help Beast in his quest, as the complexity and reach of magic is basically too great for him, even for the Sorcerer Supreme. Whoa.
Number 9, Invincible. There's gotta be some solace in knowing you are the best of all the other alternate versions of yourself. After a character who can travel the multiverse and is dedicated to ending Mark, Angstrom Levy, assembles 16 evil versions of Mark Grayson, he unleashes them on the Earth. They are all a guy who is named Invincible, so you can imagine the amount of damage they can do. They crush through everything. Every major city, Paris, Moscow, London, New York, is under attack and destroyed. All the heroes of the world are called in to face these guys. Just one version of Mark was able to take out the whole of the Guardians of the Globe, only being stopped by Rexplode, who literally destroys himself to take one out. By day 3, 8 of these Marks are still alive and have the world in ruins. It was all because Angstrom promised them larger multiversal empires that they could conquer, and that's what they plan to do.
And friends, before we move on to the next spot, if you are loving this list and you want to show us some love on another platform, head on over to Facebook, hit that like, hit that follow, do all the Facebook stuff, you know what to do. Number 8, Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan could be seen as someone who fixed the multiverse, or as someone who broke it, depending on your opinion. Well, yes, Flash started off Flashpoint and seemingly fixed everything, but then also it kind of resulted seemingly in the creation of the New 52. Dr. Manhattan was also involved in the New 52's creation, using his mega reality warping powers to do so. And we're actually led to believe in Doomsday Clock that Dr. Manhattan, not Flash, was actually the mastermind behind it all, with the death of Green Lantern Alan Scott. I would say that both Dr. Manhattan and Flash together are really responsible for the creation of the New 52 continuity. Like, I think it's fair for us to just like let them share that, which for better or worse, or maybe a bit of both, changed a lot of things. Dr. Manhattan actually made this attempt to fix the multiverse in order to prevent a superhuman World War III, which he believed would result in the destruction of all reality. In a way, New 52 was once again a sort of like break it to fix it thing. For DC, it was their way of cleaning up the continuity, but in doing so it also led to a lot of confusion, as now you are completely changing the narrative, so people who were following prior to that and had things changed on them are just going to be pretty confused. I know, I get confused all the time, and literally it's my job to know this stuff. So thanks, but also maybe no thanks, Dr. Manhattan?
Number 7, Mr. Fantastic. Hey, if you're gonna destroy every universe in an infinite multiverse, this is the way to do it, I guess. After Galactus met his bitter end, an even worse threat by the name of Abraxas came on the scene. Comic book characters can never just have a day off, apparently. Abraxas corrupts a bunch of different versions of Nova, cuts short the life of multiple more versions of Galactus, and went up against the Earth 616 Fantastic Four because you can apparently go on a terror spree across multiple different universes, taking out cosmic beings, but 4 superpowered humans from Earth will just give you a pause. After Franklin Richards used his powers to revive Galactus, who stole the Ultimate Nullifier, the most powerful weapon in the universe, that is just a weird, flat French horn looking thing, it was dropped while in a fight with Abraxas and landed at the feet of Reed Richards, who picked it up and, seeing no other choice, activated that little sucker. In Fantastic Four number 49, the universe was rewritten with Abraxas having never existed at all, and everything was just all hunky-dory, so It's actually pretty good.
Number 6, Doctor Strange. I mean, yeah, we gotta have Doctor Strange on this list, right? After the events of No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. Although at least Doctor Strange wasn't explicitly responsible for everything getting weird in the multiverse during MOM. He was more there trying to find a way out to fix it, but also by doing things that, you're kinda not supposed to be doing as a magic user. Like, reanimating the dead and possessing them. But hey, that's Strange for you. He breaks the magic rules when he needs to. And because he's not Sorcerer Supreme right now in the MCU, he's actually kind of more free to do so, which I personally like. I know there's a lot of people that are like, but he has to be Sorcerer Supreme, and I'm like, no, then he can break all the rules and it probably won't matter as much. The breaking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe began back in Loki, with the major divergence from the sacred timeline, which created a ton of splinters. This is believed to be the moment that introduced us to the true multiverse in the cinematic reality. But Doctor Strange also cracked it open like an egg in No Way Home when he attempted to use his power to rewrite reality and make everyone forget that Spider-Man was Peter Parker in order to fix Peter's life and also help him and his best friends basically get accepted to college. This worked, but at great cost to Peter, and it also threatened to completely tear apart reality and the multiverse.
Number 5, Batman. The Batman of Earth -22 grew up very similarly to other versions of the character. But of course, the Joker went and messed that all up. The Joker of this universe went on a spree of maniacal de-lifing. All of Batman's other villains, Commissioner Gordon, a hospital, etc, etc. Batman was finally driven to the point of finally removing the Joker from the picture. But in doing so, he was exposed to a special Joker toxin that turned him into a crazed Joker-Batman hybrid. This Batman who laughs went out into the dark multiverse, assembling other messed up versions of Batman and eventually setting them loose on Earth Zero. A whole whack of stuff happens with this Batman, allying with basically a god and becoming a huge comic event with multiple universes' heroes having to team up to take them on. But way later on, this Batman eventually gets his mind implanted into a Batman infused with the power of Dr. Manhattan. In this darkest night form, he subdues Perpetua and fights a golden Wonder Woman across space and time. Yeah, it's what happens when you mash a Batman with a Joker. Who'd have thought? Not me.
Number 4, Superboy Prime. Superboy Prime isn't really a hero, not anymore, but he did start out as a hero, so it still counts. He just basically became corrupted by losing his entire world and being trapped in like an extra dimensional reality, which started as paradise, but then eventually kind of like began to feel like a prison to him, which honestly, I mean, fair enough. That would make me a villain too. I mean, it sounds like it would be a lot. And he was also stuck there since like the 80s and the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is a long time. Superboy Prime, as a result of his frustration, decided to take out his anger and pain on reality by, well, punching it. And his punch was actually so powerful that it cracked the multiverse, in essence, fixing all the retcons that we really were like not here for. Prompting all of us comic book fans to joke that sometimes, in order to fix all those pesky retcons, the multiverse just needs one good punch to knock it straight again.
Number 3, Molecule Man. The Incursions, an event in the multiverse starting from a paradoxical event where realities begin colliding together. Earth-on-Earth throwdowns. In the red corner, an Earth where the inhabitants are bird people. In the blue corner, an Earth thrown together with evil versions of fan-favorite characters. Round 1, fight! In the lead up to Marvel's Secret Wars event, where all the characters and parts of different realities were mashed together on one plane called Battle World, the multiverse was facing a rather large calamity. These incursions were caused by a species of extremely powerful aliens called the Beyonders, who created the Molecule Man, Owen Reese, as a means to destroy the multiverse. When Molecule Man brings an alternate version of himself to an end, it also destroys that universe, resulting in the start of the incursions. It's confusing. Earths come crashing into each other. The Beyonders try to make sure it happens, Molecule Man and Dr. Doom try to stop it from happening, sort of, and all of the other heroes on Earth try their best to figure out what the heck is going on. It's great. I mean, it's awful. No, it's great. It's pretty great.
Number 2, Iron Lad. When Iron Lad created the Young Avengers, he in essence challenged the very multiverse to a duel. Iron Lad at the time was looking for help in protecting himself from his future self, Kang, and had been attempting to reach out to the Avengers when he founded the Young Avengers team. Taking the name Iron Lad, he became kinda like the team's version of Iron Man. However, he would also later learn of the importance of his destiny to become Kang the Conqueror and the other slew of villains and characters that Kang has assumed the identity of and been throughout the years and throughout multiple timelines and all the timey-wimey stuff. Iron Lad learned from Kang that if he didn't fulfill his destiny to become a villain, that the multiverse would in essence crumble and then fall apart. Kang is kind of part of the glue that holds it all together, because he pops up everywhere in the timeline and across multiple universes. The real crazy part is that even the Young Avengers team agreed with Kang. That's how right he was in this instance. Even the heroes were on his side for this one. So despite not wanting to become a villain, Iron Lad had to, or risk the multiverse falling apart.
Number 1. Flash. Ever heard of Flashpoint? Well, you should have, because we talked about it earlier. It's basically the event where the Flash goes back in time using the Speed Force to save his mother from dying. But it results in a dark and twisted reality. Has no one ever heard that you don't mess with time? Apparently not. Once Barry Allen put everything right, well, he didn't put everything right. No, instead he created the New 52, which was basically a whole multiversal reboot for all of DC Comics. Barry Allen's little time-altering adventures created cracks in the multiverse that affected all kinds of universes and also weakened the space between universes. This caught the attention of the least favorite thick and bald evil god Darkseid, who was now using Barry and these multiversal cracks to empower himself even more than he already is. Darkseid gains control of the multiverse, forming chains and barriers to block and separate all the Earths while forcing them to bow before his power. Can someone please tell Flash to just stop? Alright nerds, that's the list. What'd you think?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here at Top 10 Nerd. I've been one of your hosts, Amanda McKnight.
And I've been your other host, Adam Andrews. And until next time, peace out nerds.
Stay nerdy. Bye.